welcome to the uLoL Campus Series. We're coming at you to bring you some thrilling collegiate League of Legends action.
We play for Tech, and we cream everyone in the South.
We're definitely trying to win the whole thing.
Continue to chase forward. Is that him? Finds him. Is that actually him? It is. He gets the kill.
We've got the unique advantage of having players that are mechanically better.
I think we're probably the most experienced team out of any in the uLoL Campus Series. We just want to prove that last year was not a fluke and we're the real deal.
This is a huge cleanup. They haven't lost a single member. UBC take 4 kills and make it look easy.
I know UBC is pretty cocky. Not as confident as last year, I think, because they know we're stronger and we know we're stronger.
We are a top team.
Expect us to get the first place.
We're going to show up and do well.
Where's Sonya? What are you doing? He's kept alive. Quadra kill for Evan RL.
I'd watch out if I were other teams.
Definitely watch out for us. We're going to be really tough.
We're going to take down whoever we need to.
We just want to be remembered as one of the best collegiate teams.
Hello and welcome to the Campus Series Playoff Show, where we'll take you on a journey through the biggest plays, players, and upsets from the top 16 Collegiate League of Legends teams battling their way to the 2016 Campus Series Finals. Hello everyone, I'm Dominic Romer. Joining me today is Mark Zimmerman, Josh Kim, and Duran Parsi. Gentlemen, how are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Hello.
I am so excited to be here, and thank you so much for joining me today. Now, for those of you who are new to the Campus Series, here's what you need to know. 32 collegiate teams from the U.S. and Canada have been divided up into 4 conferences: the North, East, South, and West. Now, the 8 teams in each conference duked it out in a round-robin format, meaning each team met head-to-head during the regular season, scoring ladder points for wins and ties. Now, the top 4 teams in each region made it to the playoffs, where they faced off in a best-of-5 single-elimination match with the best their conference has to offer. Now we're left with a single competitor from each conference, ready to meet in the Final 4, each with the hopes of making it to that championship game and taking home the 2016 title back to their respective university. Now, before we get to those final contenders, let's rewind and take a look at the action that shaped round 1, starting with the shootout in the South.
Yeah, so in the South we had Georgia Tech versus Florida State and Texas A&M playing against in-state rivals University of Texas, which went to a 4-game series, and in particular, Texas A&M, their jungler, Korea-bred, shined using really interesting picks such as Skarner and Zach. And forgive me having 2 perfect games on Janna. But the bigger story here is actually FSU against Georgia Tech, where it went to a 5-game series.
Let's take a look at some of the big plays that went into this matchup to take it to that final game. Here we can see, looks like Lee Sin going a little bit too ham as Is That Him and a late teleport from Sunar turned what could be a gank into a turnaround.
Oh,
And then the delayed double kill on Sunar, but then there's a dark binding followed up by a light binding and 2 globals.
I think that makes a gray binding.
and
Sort of a gray area. Zatzmod running for his life, and
Oh my god.
Ooh,
Or he
run
was
from a laser.
deleted from the map.
Yeah.
Insane.
Poor guy does not stand a chance. Now, Duran, why don't you walk us through what happened in that series?
Well, Georgia Tech had their first playoff victory. The first win in Game 1 was a huge stomp, but the wins in Games 3 and 4 were more telling of the team's style and synergy. Georgia Tech jungler Is That Him found success on aggressive early junglers like Nidalee and Kindred, although he played a little differently on each of them. On Kindred, he secured neutral objectives solo, and on Nidalee, he found more aggressive kills in lane.
interesting. And yeah, Georgia Tech's mid laner just played Lux for the most part, and there was a weird shift in consistency there between games 2 and 3.
Yeah, the team overall did a good job dictating the early game, but they occasionally found themselves not capitalizing on the strengths of their comp, or they were just disrespecting FSU because they had a gold lead, which tends to drag the games out.
Right.
Georgia Tech had to be really decisive and pressure their advantages in the future if they're going to get past A&M in the second round.
Let's take a look at some of those highlights between that game from Georgia Tech and Texas A&M in round 2. And looks like it's a fight breaking out. Braum forces the disengage as a true shot looks to clear things on the far side, but it doesn't look like this is going to be stopped. Is That Him on Nidalee?
Oh,
and
there's a
Saber
Jin
on Jin.
Whip.
The curtain has been called. Bullet 4 lands. And
Here's
oh,
the
it's
final
going
one,
to hit the
and
spear.
the spear
follow-up.
from Is That Him.
Yeah, that's going to turn into 5 bullets to finish that off. But once again, Is That Him on that Nidalee? An absolute
big whiff.
monster in the back with Saber supporting from the AD carry, just putting so much damage in this tiny choke. There's really not that much that they can do against all of this scattered AoE.
So much damage right here.
It's a pretty scrappy fight where like it seems like it's hard to get one thing going. Janna disengages, they have shields, Braum disengages. And
Oh, but here's the Jin ultimate. So many things firing off out of the chaos.
Once again, is
The
that
Jin
in with
ult
the snag?
and then followed by the Nidalee spear. Is just
clench
a deadly
a little bit there.
combination.
Yeah, that's the combo that they're going for over and over again. Sunar back on that Lux doing some serious work for their team, while Yuk on Poppy is an absolute monster. Nobody can get to that backline.
Yeah, Poppy's taking so much damage here and just being super disruptive for the front line so that they can't get onto the actual carries that they want to kill.
And that's going to be the ace that eventually leads to the Baron. Now, this second game, actually, no, this is the same game that they've still got that Baron buff. And
really nice.
Sunar gets
Ultimate.
Oh, that looks real bad.
Sunar got killed.
Oh, this is a scary situation, but they're making it work. Yuk is so tanky, keeping almost the entire team engaged. Saber and Is That Him are just putting out so much damage, even without Sunar.
Oh my god, Poppy is disgusting.
There was so much good disengage there from the Poppy and the Janna, who both were able to kind of reset the fight and give them a chance to win it.
Especially the fact that they lost Sunar at the beginning of the fight and still won it without losing anyone else was just so impressive.
That's so much damage. This is a match later. Is That Him got pushed onto Elise,
Greg
and
got
he's still
needed.
doing work. As Yuk back on that Poppy, so very tanky, so
Nice
very
knockout.
strong. Even Sunar shows some diversity with the Zed in the mid lane.
Oh, a little sad for the Jin here, just getting ran around. You know, gets the package one way, Valk's the other way, just can't hit him.
Gives it the old 1-2-3. Yuk going 1v5, it looks like, and still alive.
Just cannot be stopped.
This guy is a monster. Now they've got the rest of the team in a choke point. Is That Him groups up with everyone else, and that's an easy cleanup
Two
for the team.
words, Puck Foppy.
Whoa. Wow. I mean, they did have a 15K gold lead. you know.
Yeah,
At that point,
kind of helps.
They did.
Yeah. I mean, A&M put up a good fight in the first two games,
Yeah.
but Georgia Tech came out on top with the series win.
Yeah, Yuk in the top lane. I mean, he had some monster games on Poppy, and he would like start fights without his team, but like tanking them 1v5, like not a problem. Just wait for his team to get there, and they'd turn it around. And yeah, Texas A&M could not ignore him.
And now that's enough for the South. We're going to take a look out west, where it was Simon Fraser University taking on Cal State Fullerton, leaving University of Washington to deal with the top seed University of British Columbia. Unfortunately for Washington, they weren't able to stop the pain train that is UBC's jungler, Proof of Payment, and his Bash brother, 734 on support. When the dust had settled, UBC had ended the series 3-0 with an average game time of 27 minutes and a ticket to round 2. Check out who brought the heat between Simon Fraser and Cal State Fullerton. Ooh, looks like we've got another Jin in this one. The curtain call has been dropped. Not quite
body
able to
blocking.
secure the
Body block. Jana's
mind.
like, no.
That was
Another
amazing.
Jin ult
Here goes
comes.
another ult, but Janna's ready. She's got the Monsoon on cooldown. Pinned against the wall.
Yet again.
He's really good at cleaning through the gaps. That's insane.
Yeah, keeping him stationary. Oh no, he's back on it
See another
again.
Jin ult?
Soraka block.
Yeah, will he be able to get it? No.
Oh, he-
Why? Whoa, Talk Play Love
Gets
just
two.
will not be stopped.
Man, they're getting killed all over the place. Bot lane, mid lane.
Here comes another game. Looks like this time.
All
we're
thrust,
gonna do
getting
another.
real bloodthirsty. I don't think that's such a good
It's
idea.
a bit of a greedy play, but Talk Play Love, an absolute monster on that Kindred.
didn't even
Josh,
look
why
good.
don't you break it down?
Their bot lane in particular was super decisive. JJL and Panchi just taking it to them really in games 2 and 3 and forcing the issue.
Yeah, and going into round 2, we knew that UBC and SFU would be a pretty tense matchup. Now let's dive into the big plays from that match. Oh, looks like there's a huge cask to start things off, plus Poppy setting up with everyone else. Blue team is all grouped up and ready.
You're just getting
But-
trolled by that Poppy.
Yeah, Alistair is just going through. Poppy is so strong, and can they quite get the lineup? There's just so much damage being delivered. Heat waves and monster on that
Oh
Lucian.
my god, Lucian is
Double
going
kill.
off.
It seems
would
like they were
look
trying
for it.
so hard to stop Lucian. He just did a great
Oh,
job.
there he
goes.
goes. The
Can
triple.
he finish
Talk
it off?
Play Love is running for his
more
life.
round.
Oh,
He got the quadra.
kill.
So the fat man
Not
sings.
quite going to get the penta though. Oh man, and there's another huge pin.
Huge Poppy ultimate there.
I'm seeing a
Proof of Payment.
theme amongst a lot of these highlights where Poppy just doesn't die. I mean, it's kind of happening in different regions, different games.
Yeah.
Heat
He's a
Waves
pretty good champion.
showing himself to be capable on plenty other champions. Another
nice
huge
casket.
cast to start things off. Talk Play Love trying to look for a fight, but UBC will not
They
be
did enough time for that
stopped.
TT.
Yeah, there's Diverger joining up with the rest of his team. Bobchin is able to get out. Heat Waves has got a flank on the back, and there's nothing that Hanshi can do. He's locked down. And Diverger is even going to finish it off on the far side by chasing down that ever so evasive Lulu.
Man, they're just surrounded. That feels so bad when it's like, maybe I'll run left, right. No.
right into a tower.
Nothing.
Yeah, there goes another fight this
What
time
a
around.
Gragas ultimate there.
Yeah, Panchi taking Jin, trying to get out with his life. Another true shot gets
Turn
soaked.
this
There
around.
goes the
Ooh, the
curtain
Jin
ult.
ult.
7-3-4 has got to stay in line. He takes another
One more.
bullet.
Oh,
He goes
wow.
down.
Does get it.
Hanshi's
snipe from
chin ult
Hanshi.
is just insane.
They gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
Here comes Bob.
Oh my
Jin
god,
with
that
the
was
slide.
perfect ultimate from Zia.
Goodness.
Gets turned
That
into
was
a
disgusting.
complete slaughter as Bob Chin flanks it up once again with the big plays. Uh-oh, that's not where Brom's
not
supposed to be.
what-
Takes some big damage,
if you
gets
want to
pulled back in.
engage on-
Another one.
Wow.
Dennis shows him he's got the moves too.
Why aren't people banning Pop? That's what I want to know.
That's an excellent question.
You're
As
like
there's just-
8,000 kills every game.
Yeah, so much action going on in this series. It really is back and forth between the two. Now it seems like we're finally getting into game number 5. Everything's on the line here, and it
Jin
looks
ultimate
like
again.
UBC are about to secure a win that could propel them into round 2.
It's just like the Jin's favorite thing to see is just a bunch of low health targets in that cone, knowing he's gonna be able to pick off a couple kills.
Yeah, he just saunters over. I mean, this is exactly the perfect fight for Jin.
In fact, it's SFU who managed to take that win. They're on track to open it up, and oh no, he can't get out of range! Yeah, nice with the snipe. So despite that impressive play that we saw, it's not going to be SFU. UBC ended up taking this series.
This may have been the best matchup that we saw in the entire round of 2 with some intense games between both of these teams, but in the end it was UBC who took the series.
And now joining us via Skype to discuss their upcoming match is Proof of Payment from UBC and Uke from Georgia Tech. Gentlemen, welcome.
What's up, guys?
Thanks for having me. Hey, thanks for having me too.
Yeah. So UBC, Proof of Payment, you guys have made some pretty quick work of your opponents, and seeing your exceptional performances, do you feel like you've got a plan to shut down Georgia Tech?
Well, it feels like we don't really need a plan. We'll just play our own style, practice hard, and then end up winning.
Oh, we'll have to see if that style works out for you. What are your expectations for the uLoL Campus Series?
For the finals, I'll say we probably 3-0 Georgia Tech, and then we might 3-1 RMU.
The 3-0 call out there. Uke, what do you think about that?
We're definitely not afraid of anybody, and we'll be coming in tip-top shape. So we're not too worried either.
Very good. Well, hopefully we'll get a good match between the two of you.
Yeah, obviously, Proof, you guys seem very confident, but was your confidence shaken at all when you guys went into that Game 5 series against SFU? I mean, it looked like a nail-biter.
Yeah.
Well, SFU's always been one of the strongest teams in the region, so it was no surprise that they brought us to a Game 5. We did have a bit of trouble, but we'll be improving, and we'll expect to reach the finals.
Oh, well, we'll see if you can do it. And Georgia Tech, you're going to be standing in the way, so hopefully we'll see how that works out. Now, Georgia Tech, you've already beaten your crosstown rivals, cross-state rivals in Florida State University. So what does the uLoL Campus Series final mean to you?
Well, like you said, we were just planning on trying to go as far as we could at the beginning of the season, and we're definitely out to win and going to put in our best foot.
Very solid. We'll see how that works out.
You actually had some crazy performances and some perfect games in the previous series. Are you concerned at all that UBC might focus on you in these matches? And if so, what's your mentality going in?
No, I'm not too worried about it. The current top lane meta is a lot of tanks, and ganking those type of matchups doesn't change the game too much. So, no, I'm not too worried.
Very cool. And now this is our last chance for you guys to get some official trash talk in on the record under the radar.
Here we go.
Yuk, got anything to say against UBC?
The bigger they are, the harder they fall.
Oh, very solid. And Proof of Payment?
It's hard to gauge your opponent when you don't even play against them in solo queue because their ranks are too low.
Oh, there it is. Putting it on the table. Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to seeing you in semis.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now let's take a look at our North Conference, where Ohio State met up with Michigan State in the only round 1 matchup we'd see from the North due to University of Manitoba forfeiting their match to first seed Robert Morris University. Lucky for us, though, OSU must have heard the news, and they tried to make it up to us with a bit of a 3-game show. And this is the kind of show that they managed to put on for us. Looks like we've got that classic Shen gangplank in the top lane, and GP, getting some good damage down. The barrel chain is getting ready. Here comes a few more members, but it's Shen turning it around. There's no taunt. And is Arun going to solo this? He's going 1v1 right now. Graves does so much damage. He locks it down. He's still alive. There's no way. Oh my God.
2v1.
What a turn. Oh, no.
Yeah.
Didn't stand a chance. And there's another one. This guy's landing spears left and right all over the map.
Well, Ohio State pulled off the win, but it's both concerning in the way they did it and concerning for the teams who would hope to learn something from watching them.
And what we did see was Nixevis really likes to camp for Arun in the top lane. In one of the games he played Evelyn, and he would repeatedly gank top, and the other team didn't do a very good job of tracking him.
So here we have the North Conference favorite RMU pushed through to round 2 by forfeit. And second seed OSU, fresh off a decisive win over MSU in a quick series of games. Keep your eyes peeled then for these highlights as we're getting right into it. A dive in the bottom lane as Graves is caught out of position. Twitch even shows up in time.
Very wrong place.
Yeah, Evan RL secures that. Looks like another dive is happening. It's reminding Remy is going to get a kill along with Pomi, but it's just a complete chaotic fight. But here comes Twitch from the side.
Twitch in the middle of everything.
Just does not die.
Yeah, shredding through with the damage, even adding a shockwave. Yeah, very sneaky. Getting knocked down. That's not a good place for Echo to be. He goes down, easy peasy. And here's yet another one.
Surprise
With the flash ult.
Pinned against the wall. Poor guy doesn't even stand a chance.
Once again. Takes it down. Easy.
Yeah, here comes the CC layer as they turn it around. That dive is not going to be very successful as they're continuing to chase forward. No, it is indeed.
Pretty dominant.
Oh my God.
Robert Morris is really good.
Yeah. See why Manitoba forfeited first round?
Yeah.
Got crushed in 16. They're like, forget it.
Yeah, even though they got pushed through to round 2 through a forfeit from the opposing team, they weren't rusty at all, and they proved that why they hold the first seed. They beat OSU in each game in under 30 minutes, and just again showing OSU how early wins are really done.
And last but not least, we look to the East, where 4th seed York University put a bullseye on number 1 seed University of Toronto, while Maryland took on Stony Brook. Maryland looked like they struggled a bit in the beginning, getting a slow start in this series. But by game 3, Maryland kicked into gear with their mid laner White and their jungler Yami, leading the charge to seal the series with a W. York, however, seemed determined to make Toronto fight tooth and nail for their series. You can see some aggression in the mid lane. The double bomb finds Lissandra plus a play to pull them back, though it looks like they might be able to turn it back around. The damage is being distributed. There it goes. NEV finally is going to get a few kills, and it's just going to be an easy cleanup. That Callista looks like she wants to get some revenge, though. Just tossing out a few more, but the flash bomb.
Turn it.
I think it's going to get it. Oh my God.
Damage, though. Still
picked up a double kill there.
Yeah, finally going to be caught out. Here's another fight, same game, same name, and this time it looks like it's going to be turned around just a little bit more.
Yeah.
It seems like York is going hard. Ethical can't quite get it. There's another double kill, make it a triple kill. That Zillion is caught, and that's going to be turned into a quadra kill. Pentakill at the end. There's yet another game, same characters, same game, and once again after the pentakill they weren't able to close it out. They've got Dragon 5 on the burning right now. Can they close this match out? And they're trying, but they just can't get through these Baron minions.
Oh my God. That was Luigi trying to run at them, but they're just getting picked apart now.
Yeah, there goes a huge bomb. The hook
is
gonna find Brom. He's pulled in. No!
Zillion bomb's gonna get him.
Oh wow. Almost killing his teammates there.
Moob's Zillion is really strong.
Yeah, here's actually that same match, or no, different match, but similar carries we're seeing out of this one.
Oh, Callista goes down to
so much damage. That LeBlanc is just going to be cleaning house in this match. Rapost isn't going to save you for too long for your eyes. She's getting cleaned up left and right.
It's tough to play Callista in a situation where you have Malphite and LeBlanc just flying at your face.
Oh, are we gonna get a
LeBlanc gonna
reverse
get a
pentakill here?
Oh,
There
man, two
is
pentas.
another pentakill in this series.
What are the odds of that happening?
Not very high, but here's yet another match.
Big Malphite ulti.
4-man knockup. Kog'Maw is having a field day right now. Can't get any kills quite yet. There he goes, number one. No, he's not able to lock it down. And suddenly this looks like it might turn it around. He's still got a lot of health, but they just can't quite get to him in the back. Finally, he's going to be caught. That's a double kill for Fiora, and despite that
Gonna be
Kog'Maw's
another
position, he's not going to be able to get another penta. The turn as Fiora shuts down Kog'Maw. Here's yet another fight at the Baron pit. What a crit! So much damage. Omega B split pushing on the opposite side. He's trying to end this series on his own. Will it be enough, though? As it looks like they're going to continue chasing forward. Oh no, just one more auto attack.
Man, you guys can really see in those highlights that Toronto had everything to lose, and the pressure really bit them in the butt.
Well, credit where credit is due, though. York showed up big, and they took this series for it. In Game 1, Toronto had a good early pressure, but they didn't close the game out before York could bite them back. Toronto learned the hard way when their carries are down 70 CS each to their respective opponents, and York picked up smart skirmishes until they knew they could fight as 5.
Well, Game 2, York won out in the end with a farmed-up Fiora that was really just ignored by Toronto until it was too late.
York was riding on the coattails of this underdog story into the match with Maryland, and Maryland didn't put on the show expected of a number 1 seed in round 1. Let's take a closer look at this final round 2 matchup. And you can see we're entering in. Once again, there is another fight breaking out. Shake getting super deep. Tox taking some good damage, but it's complete chaos as the blue team secures 2. They're continuing to get some good damage, but that blitz is caught. You are so right on that. He gets destroyed. Oh, and the snare from downtown.
Poppy once again.
Yeah, the Poppy Jin combo seems to be doing some serious work, but Lutano, he's going to put a stop to that.
Yeah, you can see Ezreal's strength's really shown here, just constantly pelting away at people, mystic shots, arcane shifts.
I like how Rex says, like, let me try to, never mind, leader.
It's like, I'm not gonna get stick on this Ezreal, why try?
Can't really help it out this time. This time it is in.
Splash, but
Is that over aggressive though?
Oh, there's the snare. He's got him in range.
Gets
First
him.
blood is going to be picked up. Clean fight, and this time it looks like it's further on in that game.
This is
Lutano.
such a scary situation for blue team.
Yeah, long snare is going to find it. They turn it around. Busted Ice is going to get the kill onto Izu King. And the curtain has been called.
2,
Fish in a barrel.
3.
Oh, not quite able to land the fourth.
I'm so hyped for that.
Yeah, he lands the slows though, which is what allows him to turn that kill over. Huge package though, gets away from the charm, but he just cannot.
it's corking it a
close
double?
it
Oh,
out.
he does.
That
He
is
does
a
get
double.
the double.
Oh
But
my.
Jinol is going to clean
Is that a quadra kill? Wow. Holy cow, jumping in 1v4 and netting a quadra kill.
Pretty manly.
insane.
Yeah, some very crazy stuff.
Well, fortunately for Maryland, this was a far cry from what we saw in round 1, and they secured the series. In round 1 against Stony Brook, they took 2 games to find their rhythm, but here against York, they put those slow starting fears to rest with decisive early game wins, pulling out 2 surrender votes in the series.
Yeah, Yami tends to favor aggressive, heavy ganking, so he'll need to look for ways to participate in the game in different ways if his team doesn't need him on that usual aggression.
Well, going up against RMU in the semifinals will be a true test of their abilities, since RMU's previous round victory came from the same style of strong individual lanes and early aggressive jungle pressure. This matchup seems like it will come down to one of 2 things: who can adapt faster to a different style, or who can prevail in sheer brute force in their individual lanes.
And now joining us via Skype to discuss what could be their final game is Evan RL from RMU and Lutano from University of Maryland. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Very cool. Are you guys excited about your upcoming semifinal match, Evan?
I'm super excited, ready to show that this year's RMU is better than last year's.
Oh, we'll see if it works out. Lutano, how are you guys feeling coming into this?
Really excited coming in as the underdog, so it's always nice to show an upset.
Yeah, we'll see if that upset can happen. Gentlemen.
Yeah, so this goes to Lutano. RMU has played a lot of different champions in the course of getting to this part of the tournament. How does that change how you guys prepare for them?
It doesn't really change how we prepared at all. In the past, we've just gone through Korean VODs, their pick bans, the most picked champions in the current meta, and planned our pick ban around that.
Very cool. And Evan RL, are there any leagues that you style your pick ban off of? LPL, EU?
No, not really. We just sort of do our pick ban based on our opponents.
Well, we'll see how that works out for you.
Yeah, so I've got a question for Evan RL, actually. RMU is a scholarship program, and you're the only scholarship program that's currently left in the uLoL Campus Series. Do you guys feel that there's any pressure on you as an organization and a university to succeed in this event because you guys are actually getting so much support from the university itself?
I think the biggest amount of pressure this year comes from us getting second place last year. So trying to go for first is the most important thing right now.
Well, we'll see if you can pull that off and if you can survive under this pressure. Are there any teams that you're afraid of?
No.
Confident answer. I like it.
There we
Lutano,
go.
what about you guys?
Us either. We just plan and play the way the game is made. So.
No fear. I like it. We'll see how that works out.
So, Lutano, you're going up against the self-proclaimed best bot lane there is left in this tournament. Are you excited about that challenge? And how do you think it's going to play out?
We are excited to play against a very high elo and solo queue team. We've actually played against them in scrims before, and we went pretty even. We're not really scared, and we also have strategies in place to correct what may have went wrong in scrims.
Very cool. And with that sort of information, any chance we're going to see anything wacky now that you know that you can go even in scrims? What's going to be the upset factor?
We will choose not to reveal our strategies.
I understand. All right, so I guess this is our last opportunity to get some official trash talk in before the semifinals match. Lutano, got anything to say to RMU?
We just know we're going to take them down.
I like it. Some straight up confidence. Evan?
We're just going to get first this year. There's no other option.
All right, well, we'll see if you can pull it through. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck in your semifinal match. And speaking of matches coming up, we have an opportunity to take a closer look at the grand rivalry between UBC and RMU. Let's get into it.
Definitely winning last year emotionally was a once-in-a-lifetime experience. I never felt so rewarded.
So losing for me was really emotional. I just stared at my computer and I was thinking how did that happen? Why? All the effort that I put into this and we just lost. It's I didn't understand it.
We're both undefeated in our regions and we're most likely going to meet each other in the finals again.
I really respect UBC, but that doesn't mean that I fear them. I know that they are good players. They will give us a good competition.
It'd definitely be nice to get some revenge on a team that kind of embarrassed us.
We didn't pay much attention to RMU because their roster compared to last year is a lot weaker. But you never know until we play each other in the finals. Maybe they can prove me wrong.
I just want to prove against UBC that me and Mini Bestie are the best collegiate bot lane, period.
RMU is the most dangerous school because they have an entire program dedicated to it. I think RMU is our biggest rival.
I don't think anyone's actually worried at all.
We're the best team in collegiate right now.
We don't lack confidence in each other when we play.
RMU's proved to be a good team, but we'll see in the finals.
This is a second chance that I have to prove that we can beat UBC.
And with that, we've got our top 4 teams. It's UBC, RMU, Georgia Tech, and Maryland. Gentlemen, what do you expect?
RMU and Georgia Tech heavily rely on their top laners, West Coast Carry and Uke, respectively. Those players were really, really important in their victories in getting here. And UBC's Dijurger is also not a slouch either. Question is, Maryland's top laner, Tox, isn't quite the powerhouse like the other people I mentioned, and I'm curious how he'll hold up against some of those other guys.
Yeah, and you can maybe extend that argument to the whole team of Maryland. Even though I'm an East Coast fan and I want them to win, being from the East Coast originally, I think they might have had the easiest time getting into this position. The number 1 seed in their division was knocked out by the 4 seed, and then they didn't seem to play on the same level in that final game. And so Maryland was able to go, and they're the only 2 seed to make it. Everyone else is a 1 seed, and they've been more consistent throughout the whole season. So I'm scared that they're going to get overwhelmed, especially against an opponent like RMU.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm wondering, speaking of top laners, I'm wondering if we're going to see Poppy just get banned out, because it seems like actually all of the 4 teams were heavily relying on Poppy in the top lane. So I'm wondering like how that's going to play out. It's going to be, you know, to see sort of what the champion depth is at the top lane position, because everyone relied on Poppy so heavily.
Yeah, in all those highlights, we saw a lot of Poppy.
I mean, one thing you know is like the further down you go, like the crazier the picks get. Like it's just gonna be like, oh, Poppy's gone, like GP's probably banned, and now next thing you know, I'm playing Riven and you're playing Lulu, and then it's just like, I don't know where that matchup goes. Like, what is this?
Alrighty, well then to take a look at the other side of the sort of grand rivalry that we're building, University of British Columbia. These guys looked strong, but they did show a little bit of weakness in their games.
Yeah, I mean, really is only that last series where they got pushed to a Game 5 by SFU, and like all the way up until that point, they were, you know, stomping people left and right. RMU kind of did the same thing, but didn't have that hiccup on their way here.
Yeah, they had a 16-minute win.
Yeah,
and
that says it all.
So
oh my
much.
God.
So, I mean, they beat Manitoba so hard in the regular season that they actually forfeited against them in the playoffs, which is really just mind-blowing to me. I mean, RMU is incredibly scary.
Yeah, and looking at the matchup with Georgia Tech, I think what's interesting to me about Georgia Tech is they had like a more consistent performance than UBC. They had a really strong regular season, both those teams did, but then the playoffs they didn't seem to struggle quite as much, and I think that's something to look out for. I like Sunar, his Lux. It's a very fitting name and champion to go together, so I have my eye on him.
We'll see how he manages to do. So then that brings us to the important question. Who do you guys think is going to take it?
I personally think it's going to be RMU going the whole way. They're the last team with a scholarship program left in it, and you can see the impact that has. They're a very dominant team. They're all on the same page, and I think they've hopefully learned from their mistakes that they made last season where they might have come in a little overconfident, having smashed similarly back then. But hopefully they learn from it and take it very seriously this time.
Yeah, for me personally, I know RMU is a very strong, dominant team, but I'm actually going to put my vote towards UBC. I think history might repeat itself this time. They have 3 returning players, and Bob Chin, if they meet with RMU in the finals again, I think he's going to cause them a lot of trouble again.
I'm going to go with RMU. I think last year's defeat probably humbled them a lot, and just knowing from personal experience, having been to a collegiate finals before and lost, and then gotten back there the second year and won, I know that a big factor leading to that victory in the second year was the fact that I practiced way, way harder the second time around, because the first time the loss was just so devastating. And I feel like the players on RMU, even though they have a largely new roster from last year, I think sort of that defeat kind of hangs over them, especially because of how favored they were coming into it. So I think that hunger is really going to push them to play better than ever, and I think they're probably going to take UBC if UBC even makes it.
Yeah, I mean, who has any experience barely missing things at the last possible step? You know, definitely not me, guys. Right?
Hold on, guys. We'll keep the salt out of this for now. For those of you at home, we want to know who you think is going to take it. Tweet at uLoL and let us know your predictions as we tally these votes. Of course, we can't update them quite now. We're going to save that result for our momentous semifinals and final matches, because the uLoL Campus Series is going to PAX. That's right, we're going to be at PAX East on April 23rd and 24th, where you guys at the event and even online can watch and keep tuned live to find out those results and see if it is going to be RMU or UBC. And finally, if you want to know more about the teams, do some research on your own to get a little bit more educated guess, go on over to ulol.leagueoflegends.com. You can follow how the regular season went, even catch some of those VODs of those playoff games. And I think that's going to just about do it for us. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me here today and walking us through what's going on with the uLoL Campus Series. Now, on behalf of myself and the entire broadcast team, thank you for watching, and we'll see you at PAX.
This year, the uLoL Campus Series is going to be played in Boston.
I'm excited to go to this PAX event. We're going to be playing on stage in front of thousands of people.
It might be more pressure for the players, but I don't think it will affect us.
If the playoffs play like the regular season, we should get first place.
It's going to be exciting to play some of the other schools.
We'll see you at PAX.